Hi friends, welcome to my channel. So I have a few minutes spare while baby is sleeping and Elijah, my 5-year-old, is playing happily, and I thought that I would share what we're doing for kindergarten this week. This is week number 1 for our homeschooling journey. Of course, we've been doing a lot of learning through life and other sort of little educational activities and everything, but in terms of actually considering it official kindergarten homeschooling, this is our first week. So I'm just taking it very gently. I have a lot of other resources that are coming that I'm just either saving for them or waiting for them to arrive. And being that he has only just turned 5, I'm not in any rush at all to do a lot of academic work, but nevertheless we're doing a little, and I thought that I would share in case you wanted some ideas or wanted to check out a couple of the websites that I found that I'm going to mention. So this is Elijah's folder. It has a little one of the pockets at the front, so one of our activities either this week or next week will be to do some craft to make that look pretty or nice, whatever it is for boys. I'm sure boys can enjoy the word pretty as well though, of course. And I asked him what colour folder he wanted when I was ordering it, and he wanted black, so that's why I went with black. And I just have this little pencil case in the front, and then I have 4 sleeves in the folder for Monday through Thursday, because Friday I like to go out and about and just have a nature exploring day or playing with friends, and I didn't really want to do any sort of this work on a Friday. I'm a big believer in children learning through life and learning through play and hands-on activities, so the amount of academic work that you'll see is pretty small. But when I first gave the folder to him on Monday, I had this book, Have You Filled a Bucket Today, sitting in here in the cover, and we read through that, and it's a nice book. I think that we'll read it a few more times. He was kind of just excited about everything and didn't really take it in, so we didn't talk about it a lot, but I liked the story and I'm sure that we will revisit it again. So being that yesterday was Monday, we did start already, and the activity sheets that I have in here, I wanted to share. I found them on this website. So one of the websites was walkingbytheway.com, and they have some pre-writing pages that I'm using and a learning with Lego sheets that I'm using, and also my inspiration for his art activity for this week came from there. So I need to buy the paints for it. I only have acrylic paints and watercolor paints, but this activity calls for, I don't know how you say it, is it tempura? I'm not sure, but I need to get some of those paints this week. But if you have a look on that website, I'm sure you'll find the activity for art that we'll be doing. The other website that I found some things from were the alphabet mazes, and that was homeschoolcreations.net. And I didn't look too much on this website other than the alphabet mazes that we're using, so I'm not sure what they have. But this website, the Walking by the Way, they have a lot of great stuff on there, so I'll definitely be revisiting that. So I will go through and show you the worksheets that we're going to do. I just also wanted to mention this book. This I got the idea from the Walking by the Way website, and they have a version that you can print off yourself. When I went to print it, it didn't really look like the borders were a bit off center. Perhaps, I don't know, perhaps it was just how I was looking at it, but I just created my own version in Word, exactly the same as what they did. But the idea is that, let me just pull it up. the idea is that you put each page in a snap lock or a Ziploc bag, and this is for science. You go out in nature and you find something that is soft, and it goes through and you find all sorts of different, oh, I can't get it with that hand, smooth, fuzzy, rough, and prickly. And then you keep all of these bits of nature or whatever it is that they find that can be described in those words in the Ziploc bags, and it creates their own little book that they can look through. And I thought that was a really sweet idea. So we'll be doing that for science. And like I mentioned, for art, there was the painting idea that came from the other website, Walking by the Way. And then in terms of physical education, he's 5, so he's naturally really energetic and moving about all the time and everything. So I'm really not concerned about doing too much specific physical, education work, but he does on Mondays have swimming lessons, and he just started soccer. So he's doing like a soccer joeys, which is kind of where they learn how to listen to a coach and they start practicing with the ball, and it was very sweet to watch. So he did that on Monday. And then I just made these on the computer. I just went onto Word and created a table and just did this document, and it goes like that with the 2 letters and then the 1 capital and the lowercase from A through to D, because they're the letters that we're going to work on this week. And I do have these little, what are they called? Card rings. I think that there's another name for them as well, but that's what these particular ones are called. And I'm going to pop a hole in the top corner when I can find my hole punch and keep them all together using these. But I wanted a very plain flashcard, black and white, and I'm just going to teach him the letters through the alphabet. I know that there's so many different thought processes on the order of letters and everything, and I'm just going to teach him through from A to Z. So the reason that I did it this way was so that we can talk about that both of these are called A, and I wanted him to be able to use them with his finger. I wanted them big enough that he could trace as a little pre-writing activity. I wanted the separate capital and lowercase so that we can practice matching, and I just think that it lends itself to a lot of different activities, having the the one with the 2 letters and then separately as well. And yeah, so that was very straightforward to make, just on Word, and I printed it out, and then I just put a bit of cardstock on the back and laminated it, but you could certainly just cut it out on the plain paper and not worry about the cardstock or the laminating, and just find somewhere, if you don't have a printer at home, find somewhere cheap to print it off. If you're in Australia, I think at Officeworks, black and white printing is only 10 cents per page, which is pretty good. I haven't looked elsewhere, to be honest. I think the library might be a bit more expensive than that. It might be like 25 cents per page, but yeah, it's a pretty cheap. If you didn't have a computer or a printer, you could go to the library and make it on a Word document and save it on a flash drive and then just take it to your cheapest printing place. So that would have been 30 cents because it took 3 pages. So that's fairly cheap for such a versatile activity, I think. So now over to the sheets. So yesterday, on Monday, we had a maze. Elijah loves mazes, so I wanted to include a maze. We had a maze and some pre-writing practice, and then the letter A with another maze. I don't know if you can see it very well, but he did do it, and some colouring practice. And then as a fun activity, after we had gotten through those, he chose one of these cards, which I will be backing on cardstock and laminating as well. But he chose one, and it was a Lego challenge. So he got the spaceship one, and he wanted to do another one, which was the animal. But they also came from Walking by the Way. And I think that might be little baby Patrick stirring, so I'll just go and check on him. Hi, Patrick. Hello. Are you hungry? Do you want some milk? Yum, yum, yum. You want some milk? Okay, let's have something to eat. Let's have something to eat. Yum, yum, yum. Yum, yum, yum. So that was what we did yesterday, Monday, and then Tuesday for today. We have another activity. Dudley the dump truck bought you some bricks while your eyes were closed. How many did he bring? So this is just some Lego play. So I'll put some Lego on here and he can count them. And then I'll have him close his eyes and I'll add some more. And he can count how many Dudley the dump truck bought. And it's a nice way of easing into some addition. Then we have some more pre-writing practice. Oh. Here's Elijah now howling. And then we have another. My phone died, so I just had to move positions. So now I'm over by the slow cooker and smelling this delicious dinner. It's a lentil chili that's cooking away, but it smells really good. It's making me hungry standing right here. But this was the final worksheet for today. It was the letter B, so another maze and another colouring practice. Oh, that's a bit breezy by the window, but it'll be okay. So then Wednesday will be a similar sheet. Wednesday will be a similar sheet to today, only it is taking some bricks away. So Freddie the front loader took some bricks while your eyes were closed. How many did he take? I think that I'll actually laminate these sheets. For today I'll just put them in another plastic cover, but I think that these are great and I think that we'll use them quite a lot, so I'd like to keep them from getting too crushed or anything. Again, some more pre-writing practice. And then the letter C. So as you can see, it's very simple and straightforward and very similar things each day. But like I said, this is our first week and he's only 5 and I'm not going to expect him to sit down and do a bunch of worksheets or work from a workbook for hours on end or anything like that. So this is just a really very gentle introduction to it all. And then Thursday, I think he will really enjoy. He loves doing pattern work. In fact, he often makes his own patterns just with Duplo while he's playing through the day. So that will be a lot of fun, that sheet. So I think he will really enjoy that. And then we again have some more pre-writing practice. So it is similar thing each day, but practicing different shapes and different movements. And then another pre-writing practice for this day. And then the letter D with a maze that he loves and some practice colouring. He doesn't love colouring in. Elijah is really creative and loves drawing and does like colouring over pictures, but he doesn't love staying in the lines. It's just too restrictive for him at the moment. And I'm not that worried. They're just, you know, they have a flow when they're colouring wildly, and it's enjoyable and it's working on their grip. So he will eventually get to the point where he wants to colour in neatly, and I just gently encourage him to, do you want to try to stay inside the lines on this part? And I think that it's more important that he gets that practice in and that love for being creative and expressive with art rather than getting too frustrated or caught up with staying in the lines. There's plenty of time for staying inside the lines as he grows. So then another activity that I have, I just found these. I was been cleaning out my kitchen cupboards, and under my sink I found this pack of sponges, and I remember buying it and I didn't really like how it was to clean my dishes and things with. So I'm just going to do a very simple water play activity where he can soak and squeeze the sponges, and that'll just be a bit of fun. We've got those little plastic shell pools out the back, and because it's summer here in Australia, it's nice to have some water play, and that will be really good for strengthening his little fingers and hand muscles, which is also pre-writing. It's a lot of effort for little kids to hold their pencil or their crown or whatever. So that's another activity. And then we will of course visit the library. We visit the library every week, and last time we went, we got Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. I think we're up to about chapter 11, so we've still got a bit to go, but he's enjoying that. So the library is another activity. Also on Wednesdays is our baking day. I mean, I often bake different things or cook different things most days, but Wednesday is a designated at-home baking day, and you can learn so much through baking, and he really enjoys that. So that will be something that we'll do. And then there are also scattered throughout the week, there are several play dates and homeschool get-togethers, so there'll be plenty to keep us busy. Although I really try to avoid being too busy. I enjoy a very simple and kind of slow life. Oh, my pages are blowing away. But that is it for today and for this week. I hope that I've given you some ideas, and I think those websites are really worth checking out. They've got some great resources on them. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll speak to you again soon. Goodbye.